What's up, fellow YouTubers? This is Tube Surfer, and this has been a long time coming. I have procrastinated on this long enough. It is finally time for me to kick myself in the rear end and get this review done. So, without further ado, this is the dual game review, because I've been so far overdue that I now owe you, my fans and everybody, 2 reviews. So I will do them right now. First review, Mystic Quest for the Super Nintendo. Now, this was the game that officially got me hooked for the Super Nintendo when I was a kid. This was the first Final Fantasy. If you look really closely, you can actually see it above the Mystic Quest. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It is the official first Final Fantasy made in existence. And a lot of people say, oh, well, no, not really, blah, blah. Well, you know, they're wrong. In my opinion, I should say, in my opinion, I believe it is the first Final Fantasy. I don't know if that is actual fact or not, but officially, this is the first game that I ever played on Super Nintendo, and I love it. It's what officially created my gamerness. It's how I officially started being a gamer. And, yeah. Overall, it's not a bad game. It's, you know, the graphics are pretty good for a Super Nintendo game. Not a bad plot line. Some puzzles, a lot of role playing, battlefields, armor, weapons, the typical stuff. You fight with swords, axes, magic. And they have pretty good. And I'm really kind of ticked off because I still don't know how to modify the video or anything. Once I actually figure it out, though, I'll be a little more set. But my review out of a 10, I would definitely give this a 10. For those of you like the Angry Video Game Nerd, you know, and anybody else, friends and fans and whatever, who like playing old school video games or like playing video games in general, I would definitely recommend this and give it a try, especially if you're a Final Fantasy fanatic like I am. I mean, I am not as big of a fan of the later versions, but the earlier versions, everything up till 10 and 10.2, big fan. But I would definitely give this a 10. Definitely. If you're a Final Fantasy fan or a fan of old school games in general, I would definitely give this a try. Game review number 2. Now, a lot of people who have played the Super Nintendo probably know this one, have probably played it at some time or another, may not have loved it, but if you're a fan of plumbers, of Koopas, and of battles and everything, then you have probably played Super Mario World. That's right. The Super Mario World, I do not technically own this one. A person in my building owns it, and I have just borrowed it, but that's one of the reasons I'm doing this one, because I don't own it, and I have to give it back to him sooner or later. So, but Super Mario World was definitely one of the more challenging ones for earlier gamers, especially since you had access to multiple things. You could wear a cape, you could, you know, throw fire from the fire flowers, you had mushrooms, stars, you know, you had access to lives and castles with major difficulties and traps and secret doors and water worlds and air worlds and flying Yoshis, and oh yeah, that was another thing. You could in the game cartridge, you can actually see that you are riding Yoshi, which you can actually do in this one. A lot of the Mario games that people have played, well, Yoshi wasn't in that one. You never got to ride Yoshi. This one you did. They made a major leap with this one. You could actually ride Yoshi as a companion or a pet or something. You took a hit, Yoshi went off running, and you either had to chase him down or say, hey, thanks for taking the hit, and leave him. It was definitely revolutionary for for the Super Nintendo. Man, I'm starting to sound like the video game nerd now. And oh, and mind you, I would love to own as many games as he does. Maybe not as many systems, because I'm not that flippin' rich. I don't know if he is or not, but yeah. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Anyway, for the Super Mario World for Super Nintendo, I would definitely give it, again, a 10. Definitely, probably one of the earlier games I ever played for the Super Nintendo. Definitely a fun game. Again, you got puzzles, the role-playing element. You get to fight Bowser's children, Roy, Wendy, Lemmy or Lenny, or Kenny or whatever his name is. Oh my God! You killed Kenny! You bastard! South Park reference for those of you who don't know. Sorry. But other than that, I would definitely give this, along with the Mystic Quest game, a 10. Definitely an awesome game to play for any old school gamer, anybody who loves the Mario series. So I got to cover two major series. I got to cover Mario, and I got to cover Final Fantasy. So thank you for tuning in and for watching my review. I will be doing these at least once a week. I will be reviewing a book that I have read, a TV show or a movie I've watched, or a video game that I have played. And I count played as beat to the end. So we'll see how that works out. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the games that I got to review. I know I do and still do. And I'll be trying to expand my repertoire and my arsenal of games and everything. I look forward to seeing you sometime this next week. And to all my YouTuber friends, fans, subscribers, and everybody out there, keep yourself safe, keep yourself healthy and everything, and I will definitely see you all later.